ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Tanner Hall of LifeSpace Real Estate. Yes. Is it Realty? LifeSpace Realty? What are you guys?
We are real estate.
LifeSpace Real Estate. I was right the first time.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. You were one of the ones I knew, going through it initially. I'm like, I got to get fucking Tanner on the show. It's going to be good. And we haven't, full disclosure, we've met a handful of times. We've met enough to go run some go-karts, go grab some drinks and stuff, but we really haven't met each other that long.
Right.
And I think that, that speaks volumes to the type of dude that you are, where it's like, I met this dude 4 or 5 times. I'm like, yeah. Dude's cool.
We just got that flow.
It's organic. Mm-hmm. It's very organic. So Tanner, just so you know, we're going to start the show off real simple. I'm going to give you 4 easy questions. You'll be able to pass. There's no wrong answers. Start everybody like this. Get the brain juices flowing, and then we'll pour ourselves a nice drink, and then we'll really start running.
This episode of the podcast is not brought to you by Bang.
It is not sponsored by Bang yet.
I got my creative juices flowing.
Right. And if anybody's a rep for Bang and they want to throw some sponsorships this way, we got room on the table for them. So, all right. So first question, quick and easy. What was your first car?
91 Corolla. It was like a forest green, and when you rolled down the passenger window, the door opened.
No shit.
Yeah.
So it was electric. It was electric windows.
Oh yeah.
And it opened the door. It must have caught the mechanism or some shit. I
don't know about cars. I don't know about nothing. Woo. But I know if somebody rolled that window,
don't touch it.
Don't do it. Don't do it in the hills. You're rolling down the hill.
Ejectocito, cuz. Yeah. Nice. So you said 91. 91.
Mm-hmm.
Did you buy it or was it given to you?
Given to me. Yeah. My parents.
Just hooked you up.
Yeah, hooked it up. Yeah.
Mine, same thing. My dad got me my first car. It was a 98 Chevy Lumina.
Nice.
So,
beautiful.
And it was forest green. It was a dark green. It had gray carpet interior. I actually talked about it on the podcast with Chris Passero when he came on. It was a monster, dude. V8. Oh. Like, it was a gangster car, bro.
Ooh, bro.
Big seats. Like, the whole front was a bench seat, for taking your girl out and shit. It was perfect.
The closest thing I had to a V8 was the overdrive button on my 4-banger.
Get up and go.
That's right.
Perfect. You passed the first question. Congratulations.
Thanks. 3 more to go.
Second question. Favorite superhero? Favorite superhero?
Oh, man. It has to be Deadpool, just because
I
love the movie.
And
like, full disclosure, I'm not that big into comics and all that stuff. But
how did he get on the show?
Deadpool. Yeah, I know, right? This is dope.
I like it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a Marvel geek.
I like the movies though.
Yeah, the movies are good.
Yeah,
they're awesome. Actually, they're awesome.
They're entertaining. They're brilliant, but like. Deadpool movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's a rumor that Deadpool's Marvel as well. So there is a rumor that Deadpool might be crossing into that universe with the regular characters.
Let's go.
So per the comic books, and I'm going to get a lot of fucking hate for this, but per the comic books, I'm pretty sure Deadpool kills like every Marvel superhero. Like all of them. Like all the ones that you watch the movies on, I'm pretty sure.
I knew I liked the right guy.
He jacks some people up pretty bad. He's a gangster for sure.
And
he's
hilarious is what he is.
The hell's his last name? Ryan. Who plays Deadpool? Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. He's awesome. Yes. I love him. Every movie he's in, he's like the same, like that dry comedy.
Right.
Action, but I can't get enough of it.
Smart ass.
Right. Very sarcastic, but it's
quick-witted.
Yes, I love it. Have you seen The Atom Project, the new movie with him in it?
No.
Oh, dude, you got it. It's on Netflix.
Right.
It came out on Netflix, and he like travels back in time and ends up being with, I'm not going to ruin it, but ends up coming into himself, like running into himself back then as a child. The kid who plays Ryan Reynolds, Adam. He plays the younger version of him.
Okay.
Flawless. Like if you could imagine what Ryan Reynolds was like when he was like 12 years old, it's that kid. Like they are the same. It's absolutely
beautiful.
flawless.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, you'll love it. I've watched it like 3 times already.
I most recently watched Free Man.
Okay, that's a good one. Or Free Guy. Free Guy. Yeah. That's a good one too.
And then what was the one on? I think it's on Netflix with him and The Rock.
Was that Red Notice? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think they're in a. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Dude,
he's great.
Okay, here are my character flaws. We're getting into it already.
Tell me,
dude.
We didn't even pour alcohol yet.
TV shows and movies, I just don't watch them.
No,
I just don't.
Not into it.
I like.
It doesn't surprise me, honestly. With knowing you as much as I know you, I feel like that just slows you down.
So I do watch, like I was telling you before we got on here, like I do watch a lot of podcasts and YouTube.
Yeah.
That's how I wind down at the end of the night. So
yeah.
I will sit for, an hour and watch some YouTube.
Right. Movies are just too long.
Yeah, I don't know. They're like an investment.
Right.
And they don't fall, like, my MO is falling asleep.
I love falling asleep, dude. It's like my favorite thing.
But then I get pissed because if I'm into a series and I'm in, series 2, episode 4, right, of a 7.
Yeah.
And I fall asleep halfway through that episode, and then a couple of days go by, like, forget about it.
Right.
I'm not going back.
I lost
and
it.
Yeah,
I lost
yeah.
it.
So
That's
then
fair.
I just like.
I can't do that.
My follow through is bad. That's what it is.
I can't. If I start something and it intrigues me, like a series, I can't stop. Like maybe it's an addictive personality, but like my fiance Robin, we'll watch something and it's like, so she didn't watch a lot of TV growing up at all. Like I'm training her now. I'm getting her up to like, because we go out with people, they make like a movie quote or a gesture or whatever, and she's like, I don't get it. I'm like, you never saw this? So I'm trying to like culture her a little bit. And
I've had,
but she'll pass. That's like the best part of the best movie. And I'm like, I roll over. I'm like, yo, look, are you watching? Out, zonked. I'm like, man. So I get it.
I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
All right. Question number 3. So Deadpool was the answer, right? Mm-hmm. So question number 3 is, what was your best purchase made in 2022? So this year, thus far, April 1st, best purchase you've made this year.
So I even lost a little bit of money on it, but my retaining wall at home was going to fall over on like the neighborhood kids. So I have the same frontage as my neighbor. My neighbor paid $11,000 for his wall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, dude,
can't justify it.
I got some boys, right?
I got a guy.
Yeah. So I hit him up on Facebook. I'm like, hey, I need to build a retaining wall. Can you help? And I've worked with him in the past, and like, even though he doesn't have experience, he's the type of dude that'll like just figure it out.
He got it. Yeah.
Not only that, like his family is like that, and his family has like their little niches.
I got you.
Like, right. So it's Mason. I text Mason. He's like, oh yeah, me and cousin Roy will come and we'll put that wall up. So I paid Mason and cousin Roy $500 on Friday a piece to show up on Friday and Sunday. So they showed up on Friday. I paid them both $500. Now, granted, they gave me 11 solid ass hours on a Friday.
Okay.
My boys, I'm still waiting for you to show up on Sunday.
So is the wall, what is the condition, a stack in? What is the condition right now of the wall?
I finished it myself.
Did you?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, YouTube, man.
So, dude, you know how much, like, YouTube has saved me so much money. Like, so much money.
But it's like the things that you wouldn't think about that you can fix yourself, that you would panic.
Right. You'd panic and,
you could do yourself.
For cheap. Yeah. And do it right.
You could put like a bumper on your car, right? Most people are like, oh.
Yeah. I got to call somebody.
Couple clips.
Bang. Yeah. Easy peasy.
Save yourself a whole bunch of money.
So the biggest mistake I did with that. So is that the best purchase? Is the retaining wall? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, because so altogether I put $5,000 into the wall.
Okay.
So now it's an $11,000 worth
Right.
as a wall, but then I just add a value to my house
Right.
too by having a brand new
That's fair.
wall there.
So-
and I'm not gonna get fined or
Right.
sued for
Somebody dying, finding a kid underneath your wall when you come home.
It was there.
Really?
It was
Is that bad? What is it in comparison to your neighbor's wall? Can you tell that it's a $5,000 wall versus an $11,000?
So I've gotten tons and tons of compliments on it.
Yeah.
Like, because I built it, I know where the imperfections are.
Right. You see everything for sure.
But like the cops came by as I was building it. They're like, "Hey, you a homeowner or a contractor?" I was like, "Ah, homeowner." He's like, "Ah, man, I'm looking for somebody to build my wall. Nice wall."
No shit. Okay, so
I think outsiders, they come and compare and be like, "Oh,
it's a good wall.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
That's all that matters then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, let me know too. We'll run
see.
by and
We'll see.
pop a couple capstones off your neighbor's shit too. I don't believe.
Get the better wall.
Yeah. All right. So
I mean, I'll check back in with you in like 5 years.
yeah, let me know. Yeah, we
When that
definitely
thing settles.
Right. No, that's cool, man. That's a very adult answer.
Yeah.
I was hoping, not that I was hoping, I shouldn't say that, but I thought it could, like, knowing you, it could be like, dude, I just got a parachute. Like, you know what I mean? I was hoping for something wild, but retaining wall is good too.
Yeah,
I fuck with it.
It's that's my 2022 goal.
Yeah.
Is like, hey, set myself up.
Skyrocket your investment
Just
there.
make smart decisions.
Yeah.
Right?
That's good.
Dude,
That's good.
I got a habit of like not doing that.
Yeah.
Especially with money
Fair.
and like spending habits and shit. So it's
Right.
like 2022, cleaning that up. Like,
Yeah.
let's set myself up for the
Yeah.
future. You know.
That's good. That's real good. So last question. Every question, like some of the first questions I interchange or change, switch them out. The last question is always the same for every guest.
Love that.
So no pressure, but I have gotten really, really good responses from this question, and it usually it lets us rabbit hole into the the overall conversation better. But like I said, no pressure. Could be something real easy. Dalton's was like real easy. So I love you, Dalton, but it was very easy. So what is one thing that you have to do before you die? First thing that comes to your head, like, I got to do this. I got to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was the snap knee-jerk reaction was like skydiving a dope place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
That's the instant.
It is.
But do you feel like that's extremely, is that more of just something you have to get on the schedule? Like, it's obtainable.
Yeah, that's so obtainable.
Right.
So like,
But it's not, I'm not taking from it.
Right.
Because I don't know if I can do it, dude. I really don't know if I can do it. Heights really don't bother me at all. I've been hundreds of feet up on a ladder, when I was a fireman. I've done all that stuff. I've climbed tall buildings, been to the top. Something about jumping out of a damn plane, dude. It just doesn't, I can't, I don't know. Have you so you said at a cool place. Have you done it at all at this point? Never.
No.
Okay.
No. I've taken a climbing hiatus. I like developed carpal tunnel, which sucks.
Yeah.
So
I
I
have
lost
it.
a lot of strength.
Yeah.
But like last year, took a couple road trips across America.
Nice.
Climbing in some like El Dorado in Colorado.
Nice.
Dixie, Utah, and
Living.
Red Rock, and
Just living.
Yeah.
I like it.
It was dope. So like heights do bother me.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, cool.
So do it. Do it. Right.
Yeah.
I love that mentality. Dalton has that mentality we talked about when we talked about his, and it was like, the more you put yourself out of control, the more in control the rest of your life is. Was pretty much how he put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with him going through the Marine Corps and everything like that, where he was in these situations, in basic and stuff, it just sets you up like everything else isn't as bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's your ability to better grasp perspective. Like, dude, I've been shot at, or I've been this, or I went through this. Like, how bad is this day actually?
Well, dude, like, the wrestler's mindset is embrace the suck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yo, you ever met a bad dude, like a bad person who's a wrestler?
Not really,
Not
no.
really.
No.
No.
Actually, I've never been asked that, but now, like, and I hang with a lot of wrestlers, and and guys, you know, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and all that in general, mat livers, you know, mat rats, and
just like
they're all pretty chill dudes. That's the biggest thing I noticed too, and we'll dive into that. But that's one of the biggest things is that the badder you are, the less you have to show people how bad you are, right? So like growing up, you know, we fought a lot growing up, but it was kid shit, right? And then my brother actually, before he passed, we got into like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu pretty heavy. I met a lot of great guys, and the newer cats that knew just enough to hurt themselves.
Yeah, right.
We're always the ones that were going
so
to Buffalo Wild Wings, you know, getting shit faced and ready to armbar everybody. You fill the whole place with uppercuts. And then, but the older cats, the dudes that, you know, you could tell was just like, yo, just live life, you know, BJ Penn shit. Like it was, there's definitely a crossover with that. And I think it's because, you know, you get the fucking oxygen cut off from you enough times.
Right.
Life's whatever, you know.
Being able to deal with the shit.
Yeah.
You know, being able to sit still in a storm.
Right.
You know, tapping
saying, is,
hey,
bro.
You know, hey, you're better than me.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's humbling.
You know?
It's very humbling.
Yeah.
And that was one thing I noticed at the beginning when I was doing it was, well, hold on. Let's get you want a drink?
Yeah.
You don't have to have a drink if you don't want to. I'm a bad influence because I'm going to drink.
This is good.
I had this like 2 shows in a row. I'm going to go with the Widow Jane. Very, very good whiskey.
Dealer's choice.
You want it?
Dealer's choice.
It's very good.
I got to train at 4:30, so.
Oh, you got plenty of time to get it out. Just sweat it out. They'll smell it on you. I'm going to go with a heavy pour. You say when.
You go with the same pool.
Okay. Yeah. I think I gave you a little bit more. That's all right.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Widow Jane is not a sponsor, but it's very good whiskey. Yep. Any of my whiskey drinkers out there, super smooth. It's not that expensive either. I want to say maybe $50. $50 for a bottle. Average. We'll say average. I just recently got a bottle of, I put it on Facebook. I shouldn't even say recently, but I got a bottle of Jacob's Pardon. I don't know if you ever heard of that. Mm-mm. It's a $100 bottle. It's the most expensive whiskey I've personally bought.
Okay.
Dude, fire. That's why I didn't bring it on the show, because you get somebody that doesn't drink whiskey and they're over here drinking my $100 bottle of whiskey, and they'll be fucking pissed at the end of the show when there's half left, you know? But I know you drink whiskey, so we're good. We're in good shape.
So I like bourbon. You ever had a Blanton's? Blanton's bourbon?
Yes.
Bro, it's like $250 a bottle.
It's very expensive.
Right now. Back when I was introduced to it, I used to live in Connecticut.
Okay.
And
Connecticut.
Yeah. And those dudes, this was like 7 or 8 years ago, introduced me to Blanton's bourbon. He's like, they're like, oh, it's a great bourbon. It's like $50 a bottle. It's the best bang for your buck, bro.
It's fire.
It is.
It's fire.
It is. Industry carries it, and they do the smokestacks.
Oh,
so
okay.
I do like a applewood smokestack.
Yeah.
On top of the bourbon. It's
so
good.
you know Leah Stedman, right? That works here. Have you met Leah?
Not maybe.
So yeah, on the spot. Leah doesn't know who the fuck you are.
Sorry.
No. So Leah's husband. You definitely. I guarantee you guys have bumped shoulders before. Yeah. But Leah's husband Chip is. He is the one who really got me into whiskeys. He's my mentor. Mm-hmm. The Jedi to Padawan ratio, and he's taught me so much about whiskey, and it's incredible. Like the different levels, the different, like Blanton's is up there. A local one too is McLaughlin's, which I don't know if you've ever had. McLaughlin's is very good whiskey. It's a little bit pricier. Something to do with Turtle Creek. I don't want to go too far into it because this will be on the internet. Okay. But it definitely has something to do with Turtle Creek, and very good.
I got a whiskey question for you.
Okay. Fuck.
All right.
We're going to cut this out if I get it bad.
No, this is staying in.
Go for it.
Well, what's the difference between whiskey spelled with EY and then whiskey with just a Y?
I don't even know if I've seen it spelled differently, so I have no idea. Please be a joke.
No. I genuinely wanted.
Whiskey.
So
like Whiskey or WH.
No. Where's this?
Do we have it spelled different on anything?
So here whiskey spelled with an E.
This one's IE.
That one's IE?
Yeah. WHISK. Oh, it's whiskeys, plural.
Oh. So here,
Doesn't count.
Here it's spelled with an E. And then sometimes they take that E out. Why? I've
never noticed.
I think it has something to do with like location, but I don't know.
So the crazy thing is,
Google.
I have the internet.
Go. Where's Jamie? Huh?
Yeah, we do need a Jamie. Ange, we got to get you a computer.
Yeah.
Why? How should I ask the G machine? Why?
Whiskey versus whiskey.
Whiskey versus.
Bro,
it's right here.
Talking about her.
Yeah, she must have heard. Her ears are burning. Leah, I'll call you back. Okay. It is generally spelled whiskey, WHISKEY, with an E in the United States and Ireland. It is spelled whiskey without the E in Scotland and Canada, which are both well known for their whiskeys in several other countries. There you go. Location.
That's it.
That's a real estate pun, too.
Sure.
There you go. We figured
Cheers,
it out.
my brother.
Did you try it yet?
No, not
I'm
yet.
being disrespectful. I'd had like 4 sips already.
You're good.
It's smooth. It's not bad. It's decent. It's got a little smoke at the end. Mm-hmm. It's got like some caramel in it. It's very good.
No, I like that.
Okay, so let's dive into Tanner Hall, right?
Let's go.
So you are a real estate agent at LifeSpace.
Yes.
Jesse Wigg, the owner, the broker, the mad scientist, if you will. Jesse is on a different level. I'd love for you, there's somebody that's in the room with him often.
Yeah.
But this man, every time I meet him, he's so upbeat. He's so on the ball. And you can tell this man's wheels are constantly spinning. Like, he is, every chance he can get, like, he's the shit, dude. He's an awesome, awesome person.
That last part that you said was the most important.
What's that? Which one specifically?
He's an awesome, awesome person.
He is.
He's on his way to being like a billionaire.
Yeah.
But in life, he's like
us.
A billionaire. He's such a good human being.
He is.
He'll take the shirt off his back for you.
Yeah.
He like he calls me. He's like, "Hey man, you know when I told you I was gonna buy a Tesla for the brokerage?" I was like, "Yeah." So, side story.
Yeah.
Jesse was had this idea. It's like a branding and marketing. He's a mastermind with that stuff.
Mad scientist.
So he's like, "I think I'm gonna buy a Tesla, slap some LifeSpace stickers on it, like brand it, get the brake calipers painted in LifeSpace, teal or whatever, and let the agents take it around to showings, to open houses, whatnot. When you're driving down the road, it'll just be like
it's a billboard.
And yeah, exactly. So he calls me on a Monday, and he goes, "Hey, I bought that Tesla. It's in Newport Beach, California. Can you go get it?" I was like, "Yeah." "Okay, you leave Friday." "Dope. Jabel's going with you." I was like, "Sick." Okay.
No shit.
So
he made the phone call on a Monday to tell you in 4 days you're driving to flying.
I'm flying you out to
Cali,
to Newport Beach, California.
Shee.
You're gonna road trip the Tesla back across America, and document it all on social media the whole time.
That's awesome.
We had
dude.
a fucking blast.
That's awesome.
A blast, dude. So much fun. And I mean, it was an all expenses paid trip.
Yeah, to just go. To
see the country.
What owner? What even friend does stuff like that? Like, it wasn't like, "Hey, dude, come with me." Right. It was like, "Hey, do this stuff. I got you guys. Mm-hmm. Go live and bring me this shit back."
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
We stopped in. He's like, "Are you running through Vegas?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, stop in a casino. I want to throw 300 on black."
Get the fuck out of here.
Bro, he lost it, dude. On roulette, they spun a green.
Oh, man.
He's like, all right, go double it up. And then
this is like on the phone, like you're taking bets on the phone for Jesse.
Well, it's FaceTime.
Okay, even better.
Or actually, it was on our Instagram live, our Live Space Instagram, which is funny.
No shit.
So we hang up in the live as he goes. He's like, let's go double it up. As we're walking our way to the ATM, he calls me. He's like, hey, never mind. I was like, I get it. Dude has never not called me back. He's never not responded to a text message. He's never not given me the advice that he wouldn't use himself.
That's
never
legit.
steered me in the wrong direction. And I'm not even talking about real estate. Like
life.
Like deep, heart to heart, like, hey, this shit's going on in my life. This is what I'm dealing with. Like, help me out, brother.
That's legit.
And like, the dude like feels energy too. Feels it.
Yeah.
Walk into a room, be like, "Hey man, how you doing?" And I'll be like, "All right, good."
Yeah.
And be like,
"What's wrong? What's up?"
Hey, talk to me.
That's good vibes, dude. Good vibes.
That guy could work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and never get all his work done, and he'll drop absolutely everything and focus on you.
That's
cool.
And
it's like, I've been recruited by almost all of the brokerages in Pittsburgh.
Oh, of course.
And I tell them the same thing. It's like LifeSpace is my family.
Right. That's huge, bro.
There isn't a number, a monetary value that I can even think of.
Yeah.
That would take me away from LifeSpace.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm rooted. I'm rooted.
Yeah.
Because it's the environment, it's the atmosphere, and it really is the leader too.
Right.
He's doing things that no other brokerage does. Like, Jesse's doing things that no other brokerages are doing. So as far as like retirement's concerned, right? Typically, I mean, I'm sure like some of these larger brokerages have retirement plans,
for sure.
Invest in this plan that's going to make, 5% over 30 years and yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know the exact number of doors that Jesse has in his portfolio and exactly how many he's flipped, but I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood like 65, right?
Okay.
He's done it all over in West Homestead, Munhall.
Yeah.
He's got Bowtie High and Bowtie Low, which are two schools that he's converting into luxury apartments. I think he's got another school that they're working on. He's come up with life shares. Basically, he's going to build a portfolio for the brokerage of all real estate investments. So it's all properties that he's going to flip and rent out into a portfolio, and that portfolio is going to be our retirement portfolio.
Oh, shit.
So now you're invested in real estate as an agent. Like it's
Wow.
another level, man.
What? So
it's another level.
How does that? Is that something that's done? Did he how do you even fathom that?
He's a mad scientist.
He's the mad scientist.
Dude. Yeah. He's got so many ideas, and I'm holding back,
right?
Because
I
don't
tell
know how much I can say.
Right.
He's got just next level.
He's on it. So my owner, the owner of my company, Jason, and him
great
are
dude. He
homies.
did my mortgage.
Okay.
Yeah.
He I know he was at Jesse's wedding in Mexico, which I heard was awesome. But no, they're very tight, and that's that's how I got involved with you guys via Jason.
Yeah.
And that like I said, I've met Jesse a handful of times. Actually introduced him to a friend of mine that's an agent, trying to get them over that way. And he's so different as far as like what you would picture as a broker owner, or he doesn't fit the mold of everybody else.
Not at all.
But like he genuinely gave a shit about me, this kid he just met 5 minutes ago, because like the first time I met him was legitimately a pie eating contest at Jason's house. We had a fall festival for Learning Heights. He had come and shook his hand. Hey, how you doing? I'm Jesse, blah, blah, blah. Bang, shoved our faces into these pies, bro.
I know the picture.
Yes.
Supposedly
he won. I disagree firmly.
Yep.
Because at that point in time, Jesse had a very, very large Amish beard. And, I mean, it was heavy duty,
There's
bro.
some controversy. Run it back.
Oh,
Run it
okay,
back.
go ahead.
No. Run back the pie eating contest.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Live.
Oh, 100%.
On the podcast.
100%. I'll do it. I'll do it in a heartbeat. We'll throw garbage bags down.
Jesse.
Bro, listen.
This is my challenge.
He knows.
It's my challenge.
I'm looking right into this camera. He knows. His beard was so heavy, bro. And this was like a mousse cream pie. So Jason and Kristen, God love them. I don't think that was like the best pies that they could get for the thing. But like traditionally, they're like more of like a whipped creamy pie. Mm-hmm. These were like dense mousse pies, bro. Like no bullshit. When I put my face in, I thought I was going to suffocate. I had no oxygen coming to my nose. Like I was eating, but I like couldn't breathe. I was drowning in this pie. Like there was a moment of panic.
Yeah.
Like legit.
Oh, for sure.
And I looked over, so they didn't weigh them. Like in my opinion, since we're gonna go legit, they didn't weigh them before or after. It just like what looks more disturbed.
Hey, bro.
You know what I mean?
Okay. How long have you thought about this? How long has this been
long
sitting
enough,
on
dude.
the shelf?
Brewing. I feel lighter. It's like the room has lifted because it's bullshit. That's the only reason I even made this whole podcast was this moment right now. After this, we can cut it off. I'm done with it.
Done.
I needed to get that out.
You just come on my podcast. That's it. We're done.
So yeah, what about your podcast? You said you guys are starting something, right? Give us a little shout out to that. We'll plug you in and you plug us in.
Absolutely. No, we'd love to, and we'd love to have you on too. So it's myself and I hate when I say that. I'm gonna rewind.
Okay, go ahead.
It's Ryan Sexton and I. Ryan's
there you
from
go.
Movement Mortgage.
Yeah.
Super cool dude, just like us.
Yeah.
Just want to bring a lot of like entertainment to the industry.
For sure, a new breath.
Exactly. Breath of fresh air. You can tune in. We're going to be loose with it. We're going to drop some knowledge. We're going to have fun. We're going to make fun of each other.
Nice.
Like I was telling you, like, no offense to Debbie and Patty at Howard Hanna, but like, you don't got to.
That would be a good, I need a fart sound.
But like, there are different agents. There are knowledgeable agents. There are agents just like you who you want to work with in the industry. And like, our age, that's who we're selling to. That's who we work well together with,
I think Pittsburgh is on the cusp of something very, very large, a changing of the guard, if you will, where these new kids, this younger generation is taking hold of this. And, and like you said, no disrespect to the older agents, to, the people that have been doing this 40, 50, 60 years, things change. In every atmosphere, things change.
Yeah. Right. So no offense to them because...
I mean, we can say offense to them. It's my show. If you want to offense them, offense to you.
No, because actually, the top producing single agent in Pittsburgh, she's been in it for 30 or 35 years.
Right.
And I heard a rumor, and I don't know if it's much of a rumor as it is fact. She handwrites her contracts. She does like $30 million a year, maybe even more, and handwrites her contracts.
Yeah, so
kudos to her.
Maybe I should retract the offense. That's all I meant. What I meant to say was there's a new breath coming. There's a new and it's not to the agents as much as it is to just the overall environment. Pittsburgh is growing. Pittsburgh is becoming, for the longest time, Pittsburgh, especially you traveling around and seeing different atmospheres, Pittsburgh is very much a time capsule city, if you will. There's a lot, we're behind on a lot of things.
For sure.
And I think the social media world, things like this, and just the younger generation is really starting to change that dynamic. Mm-hmm. So what you guys are doing, what was the name of your podcast? What are you guys calling it?
Doing the Deed.
Doing the Deed. You heard it here first.
Number one real estate podcast in the world, Craig.
That ain't.
Not the city.
That's not true.
The world.
It's not true. It can't be true.
So
you can't say that you have the number one rated podcast on my podcast.
That's the shtick, though.
Right, Craig. I fuck with it. Yeah, worldwide security. I fuck with it.
Thank you.
So Doing the Deed. Make sure you guys check that out. What platforms you guys going to be on?
Definitely Spotify.
Okay.
And I got to figure out how to get us on Apple. You know,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Apple Podcasts
And the
stuff.
the tube too. Go on YouTube or no?
Yeah, we have video. We got a YouTube page going. We're gonna have
Nice.
an Instagram page going. So
Nice.
all of that stuff.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Yeah, I think we're gonna actually drop our first podcast today. We're still waiting on the
Today,
logo.
April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day.
There you go.
Yeah, I think we're the only two dumbasses in America to drop a podcast, like an actual podcast, on a day where everybody just jokes. And nothing's real.
But that might be that might be brilliant.
You know?
You never know.
So like there's either dumb geniuses or smart dumbasses. And I think I
like that.
I think I fall more on the smart dumbass side than the dumb genius side, but I don't know. I got my moments, you know?
Yeah. I like that. I'm gonna use that. So we got that out of the way. They're doing the deed. I do like that name.
Thank you.
I do like that name. Yeah.
I was telling you, we actually considered it.
Right. It is a common kind of quote or hashtag, if you will. But it matched the exactly, and that's what I was going for.
The title matches the vibe.
Yeah.
For sure.
So speaking of vibes, I want to transition because I feel like, we definitely talked about Jesse. We talked about Life Space. Mm-hmm. I really want to dive into you. I want the world to know who Tanner is.
Yeah.
What it's all about.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this before the show. How would I describe you? In the minute amount of time that we've been around.
Super interested
So
in this.
I came up with one word, right?
I love it.
And this word I'm going to say, and then we are going to let the audience agree or disagree in the comment section below.
Love it.
If they feel like the definition, I want you to build the definition of this word for them, right? And this is the word that I just, knowing you, knowing what you're about, and following you and what you've done, the word to me that best describes you is free. It's free. And that could go a lot of different ways to people that don't know. So this is when we're going to spend this time digging into the true depth of that word, because I don't want people to get an ignorant impression of it. Like it's a soulful free.
I couldn't agree more.
So we're gonna start. I'm gonna start right off, right? So they understand.
Yeah.
I hit you up on Monday.
Yeah.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Right. So similar to the Jesse go get my car story.
Yeah.
I said, hey, I want you to be on the show. Blah blah. You're like, dude, I'm actually flying home from Colorado. I'll be home. Absolutely. And I was like, well, I have an opening on Friday. You're like, cool, I'll be there.
Let's do it.
Like, well, what time? Anytime. Yeah, I'm in. Done deal. So, like, that starts it off. Like, dude, free spirit, free just, if I'm there, if I can do it, I'm going to do it. Like, there's no, like, I got to check my schedule. Let me make sure. I don't really feel like it. And in full transparency, I don't think you even knew much about the podcast. We've only pushed one episode so far. The rest are coming out. So the next episode, so everyone knows, is April 6th. We're going to drop that. And then it will literally be every other Wednesday from that point on. But, it was just, yeah, fuck yeah, bro. I'm in. Let me go.
Let's do it.
That's the first thing that I want to put into the perspective of the viewers, that, it was the easiest going real estate agent you might ever meet in your life. It was wild.
That's the thing. Like, man, I don't want to work with anybody that doesn't want to work with me, that isn't free and easy going, right? And I think, like, I spent 10 years in corporate America.
Okay.
Being the sales guy that you wanted me to be, right?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
What did you sell?
Yeah. So I started off right out of college. I sold. It was for a company, Lincoln Electric. If there is a corporate company out there to model after, it's Lincoln Electric. They were the best corporate company. Like,
so that's like welding equipment and stuff.
So it's welding. So I sold welding automation, like a lot of robots, which was really dope. I saw a lot of cool things in factories. Like, I saw a lot of manufacturing USA.
Okay.
Up in the Northeast. I covered Connecticut and Rhode Island.
Okay.
And you'd be surprised how much manufacturing's up there, especially like higher level automation and technology, which is cool. So then, I had to be the guy that you wanted me to be.
Gotcha.
Right. And that's who I thought like that was my identity.
Right.
I made my role. I confused my role and my identity. Right. So
where do you think that started? Was it like maybe imprinted from like your parents or your home life where it's like
for sure.
you go to work, you do, you know what I mean? Because I know that was like that for me. So I just want to kind of get, you know.
Well, I think so. If you want to get deep on it, so my brother he's like my brother's like my best friend.
Gotcha.
I love that guy. I go to 4 or 5 concerts with him a year. Like
nice.
We have our thing. I talk to him every single week. Like we're good. I've always had this thing where like I was in his shadow a little bit, right? So
he's older.
He's older.
Okay.
He's older. So I saw how he acted. So I was like, oh, that's who I need to be.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha. Your
so
role
I was
model.
like always trying to catch up to be Brandon.
Gotcha.
And like completely lost Tanner.
Gotcha.
Not even knowing that I was too immature to understand that.
Yeah, it was subconscious.
Right. I just saw my environment. I saw how people treated him, how they respected him, how he acted, and I was like, I got to do that.
Right.
He's uber successful. Like he's got the $1 million home on the like, pond and pool, and like it's still going to visit in there.
Yeah, I'm coming next time for sure.
It's so cool. His basement, dude. He's got a cool like little poker room and a bookshelf in the back, and if you push the bookshelf, it opens up to a door to a jam room. Like
it's man,
so dope.
Oh right? Yeah. Where's he stay at? What?
He's in Philly. He's like outside of Philly. So up until pretty recently, like I would go over to his house and be like, "Oh shit, look what he's got."
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like a lot of therapy work.
Okay.
And I actually talked to a shaman too, which is
really
dope as shit. Yeah.
Very Santana-y.
But like in the past, I would like probably 2 years even, I've just seen this like divide of role and identity.
Yes.
And like me being individualistic, right?
Gotcha.
Me owning who Tanner is.
Yeah.
Instead
Finding the different levels of yourself.
So going back to like the free thing.
Yeah.
If I want to come on your podcast, fuck yeah, I'm coming on your podcast.
Hell yeah.
Let me introduce myself to you
into the world.
Into the world. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of people that are gonna dig that, bro. Because I don't know if you realize how brave that is in today's society for somebody to take the suit off, figuratively speaking, and say, you know what, like this is my one life.
Yeah.
Let me dig in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's so many people that are in the world and listening today even that they want what you have and they're terrified to do it.
Yeah. And I would say like, man, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Fair.
Right? Like,
Fair.
You're not like, just take baby steps, right?
Yeah.
Set super, super small goals. I was just watching this Bert Kreischer's podcast.
What is that? Men in a Cave? The Men in a Cave one?
Yeah, 2 Bears, 1 Cave.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
I think. Or no, this one was his. So this is
okay.
Bertcast.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, this guy, he's like, just set small goals and like promise me that when you set that small goal, you're going to achieve it. Right. So he goes, give me a goal today. And Bert was like, all right, well, I want to get high. He's like, promise me that you're going to get high today. He goes, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to get high today.
Right.
So this other guy that's interviewing him, he pulls out a joint. He's like,
right now.
Hey, achieve your goal. Bert fires it up, right?
Beautiful.
And then give me another goal. I want to get drunk today. All right, we're going to go to the bar after this.
Yeah.
So he gets so super achievable small goals. And then he's like, hey, give me a goal. He's like, well, I want to be, the funniest guy in the world. And now look at him.
Yeah.
He's one of the funniest guys in the world.
He's hilarious, bro.
Exactly. So, like, those super small, achievable goals. So, going back to, like, stepping out of your shadow, stepping out of, like...
what you think or what our brains are trained to believe is successful.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, have those little self-wins, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's you invite me onto the podcast, and I really don't want to do it, but I commit.
Yeah.
Maybe... the next time that opportunity is presented, I go, hey, sorry. That's a win for me.
For sure.
And that counts.
For sure.
And it's like,
Yeah.
I kind of, another euphemism, right, is like throwing bricks into the Grand Canyon, right?
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, 3 at a time ain't going to do it.
Eventually.
But over time,
right.
it's going to get filled
right.
up.
Chip away.
And hey, man, the quicker you throw that in, the quicker.
Yeah.
So the more you practice
I like
those
it.
little goals, you're going to look back and go, hey, shit.
Yeah. Look what I did.
Hey,
yeah.
man, I stepped out of my brother's shadow.
Right.
Like, I'm my own person. Like,
yeah.
I like to travel, and I like to smoke weed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could never say that.
No,
like,
absolutely
oh my
not.
Gosh. I grew up in a Catholic ass church. Right. like
no, you could
smacked
never.
over the head with a Bible. You're smoking the devil's lettuce. Only losers and unsuccessful people do that.
It's not true.
I mean, look who's laughing now, man.
Who's the dummy now?
Who the dummy now? And like, look who's less stressed too.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
that's
another
fair.
can of worms. But like,
you're right though. You're right.
And I could never admit this.
Right.
I could never do that if I didn't gain that momentum, those little victories. Then you get a little bit more bold.
The confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
So where you're trusting yourself instead of the program.
Yeah.
That's deep, man.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
And like, your intuition, A, it's a real thing. B,
For sure.
it's right.
Yeah,
Trust that
absolutely.
shit is right.
Absolutely. Until you second guess.
Right.
And then you can talk yourself in and out of literally anything.
That
you know what I mean?
relationship there is like so key, and so it's like I've had to work on that a lot. That like, hey, this deal is gonna put $15,000 into my bank account, but man, I don't want to deal with these people.
Right.
Now I'm at a point where I'm like,
It's a crossroads.
now I'm at like, hey, that's not worth my stress. I
Right.
And
And that's
worked on myself
huge.
enough to like.
And to let people know that is attainable, I think is huge. You know, like you're here giving your testimony on it, but especially for our viewing audience, like you can do what Tanner's doing. You know what I mean? There's no cheat codes to that. It takes time. It takes those bricks, like you said, but they can absolutely come into a situation where that one time, because when you start, especially in real estate, you got to take anything and everything. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I'll kiss anybody's ass, on my knees for whatever. And then as you grow and you build yourself, you put yourself into those situations. Eventually, you can be like, I don't need to answer that guy. I'll fire a client.
So I think I would have gotten to this point sooner had I not changed for those early clients. Had I not been the guy they wanted me to be instead of being who Tanner is.
Right.
I think I would have achieved where I'm sitting now way quicker.
A lot sooner. Yeah.
Yeah.
And and the crazy part is when you and you can attest to this, is when you make those changes, the fear of acceptance or finding clients that will find that mold, you feel like you're shrinking down your web, right? Like, oh, I'm not, if somebody knew that I, did this, they probably wouldn't. And then you do it and you get more of a response and you get more people like, yo, I fuck with you. Like, help me out. So it's the exact opposite of what your imagination, your fear was telling you was going to happen.
Yo, this dude up here,
Mad.
I gotta tell him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, at all times during the day.
Yes.
He's always going, yo,
Yeah.
you can't do like I genuinely have like no I don't. No I don't.
Whoa.
No I don't.
Got it.
No I don't. No I don't. But I think I got some imposter syndrome.
For sure.
I got this guy telling me, hey, you can't do that. Hey.
It's an overactive conscience is what it is.
Yeah.
It's the fears. Because of the way, like you said, you were burned in, programmed in the environment that you grew up in, seeing your brother. So your reflex is going to be, does it fit that? Yeah. Does it fit in that box?
Right.
And then as you grow, it's going to be that voice is going to be quieter and quieter and quieter. Mm-hmm. And then when it's like, no, you know what? I'm free.
Yeah.
I do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
I do what I want, Ma Ray.
And it feels so good, man.
I see it in your face,
Yeah,
bro. Like I said, that's why the word makes the most sense to me. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to
I love that. That's such a gift to me, and I appreciate that.
Well, I'm glad.
Thank you.
I'm
That's
glad.
So, like,
it fits, bro.
I feel that, and that is what matters. But like to have it validated,
For sure.
I appreciate
For
that.
sure. And that's because I'm very good at sifting through bullshit. The way I grew up, the people I grew up with, I'm good at it. I have the discernment where I can talk to somebody, it's not arrogance, but I can talk to somebody for 5 minutes and know pretty well if you're a piece of shit or not. Yeah. And the vibes, these are the vibes. Me telling you what I feel is 100%. If I didn't feel this, I'd just be like, yeah, tell us about yourself, asshole. Like, I wouldn't tell you these things. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's still I'm still a work in progress too. Like,
for sure.
I wish I had some more of that in me, that I could sit and look you in the eye and say, hey man, like, what you're saying doesn't fucking resonate with me, and I don't want to be in this conversation. You know what I mean?
That's a perfect transition. Go ahead first, because I'm going to transition into why you should be that way. I'm going to be your life coach here for a second.
I appreciate this. Because I'll sit there and waste my life with something that doesn't bring me value.
Right.
Like,
that's huge.
Yeah, like, and it goes back to like self-worth. Mm-hmm. I struggle with self-worth. I've gotten a lot better. I've gotten a whole lot better with it. Yeah. I'm not that piece of shit that I think that voice in my head is telling me. Right. You're fighting. You know what I mean? I am. But like, it's just completely lost my train of thought.
No, it's 100%. And I think I'm going to make that change quickly. So I have a word of the day that I'm going to bring to everybody's attention. And I don't know if you know the definition of it or not. Do you know, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right, apposmatism? Do you know what apposmatism is?
No.
So apposmatism, here's the definition.
This is so cool.
Biological means by which a dangerous or noxious organism advertises its dangerous nature to a potential predator. Okay?
Biologically.
So this is something that you would visually see before ever speaking, before ever whatever. So let's go back to the jungle, right? You're in the jungle. You're hungry as shit. You're an animal. Let's say what animal would you like to be in the jungle? You can pick any animal.
Yeah. Let me be a black cat.
Beautiful.
Give me that leopard.
So big nasty leopard. Haven't found anything to eat in the last couple of days. Starving, right? Times are tough. You roll up on this tree and you see these 4 frogs on this tree. It's not much, but it'll get you by. Mm-hmm. These frogs are bright red, bright orange, bright green. It's gonna come across your consciousness as, is this worth it? It's gonna raise a subconscious red flag to you. Versus if it was just a regular green tree frog that you knew about. But you saw these new ones that are bright green, or you saw something, like a butterfly. Oh, it's a little butterfly. I'll smack it real quick, whatever else. But then it opens up and it's got these huge eyes, and you don't know if how big is this? What is the potential of this thing to fuck me up, right? So that is what apposmatism is.
Okay.
It's a visual siren to a potential predator or danger to be like, oh, let me rethink my situation before I do what I would normally do.
Maybe that's what it is.
So
apposmatism.
It's what it is. It's 100%.
That
now,
is.
With that,
yeah.
So with the apposmatism, it works in different varieties. But the biggest thing is that there's something that stops somebody that potentially, would do something or act a certain way. It changes that. Immediately, they see something. Oh, hold up. Something's wrong. You know what I mean? And that goes into, a different psychological value that we were talking about. Mm-hmm. The reason I brought that word up originally was because you said, like, you're still growing into yourself as far as, maybe entertaining or putting up with shit that you feel you shouldn't have to, but it's a hard bridge for you to break. Mm-hmm. And I think, so the first thing, superficially, the first thing that in my head would be like, bro, do you know who the fuck you are? Right? So apposmatism, that's what I would lean to. So you have an apposmatism.
Yeah.
And the listeners, They can't see it because you have headphones on. but the definition of apposematism, so like I said, we're talking poison dart frogs. We're talking, snakes when they have the diamond-shaped head or the certain color coordination or whatever it is where it's like, oh, I shouldn't fuck with that. That's probably bad for me. And you have that in a very obvious fashion, right? So if I was at the bar, I'm getting tuned up, drinking with my boys, and some motherfucker bumps me, Tanner with his fucking man purse bumps into me, and I'm like, yo, what's up? Like, what's the deal? Like, whatever. Let's catch this eye jammy real quick. And then I see your apposematism, which is your cauliflower ears. Show the crowd. You don't buy those, folks. Those are earned. Those are earned and highly. Like that's a badge, to everybody in the world, not even just the immature guys. Or if anybody sees that, they know.
Yeah, what I love about them.
Tell me.
So
Show them one more time. Show the camera one more time. Ange, can you zoom in on that? Can you get a good close up of my man's badges here?
It's funny when I go to get my haircut. So. Shout out to Mark at EJ's out in Murraysville.
You go to EJ's? Bro, EJ's my dude. Eric's my guy, bro. So my nephew owns a barbershop out that way. So I don't go to EJ's anymore, but I've known Eric for a hot minute, bro.
Those guys are
Grew up in Jeanette, bro. Out my way.
Awesome. So so I go to is it Export? Yeah, I think it's Export. To Mark's, to the other.
So they have another because they have one back behind Burgatory.
Exactly.
That's the one I usually went to.
Right. And then so I always used to go to Mark.
Gotcha.
And when Mark went to the next facility that they opened up, I naturally went to him.
For sure.
So like it's funny when I don't get my hair cut by him, like somebody else, if I'm traveling or something.
Yeah.
They'll like ask me, hey, can I touch this? What is this? Like I legitimately can't feel it.
Right.
So like you can pinch it as hard as you can. I can't feel it.
No shit.
Yeah, it's all like coagulated.
Yeah. It's all scarred up.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my. Say it one more time. What's the word?
Apposematism. That is your apposematism. Gotcha. That is to warn off predators before they interact with a potential hostile situation. Nice. So, dude at the bar, like I'm telling you, I know a bunch of motherfuckers with cauliflower ear. They're not fun to fuck with, bro. So one of my good friends, his name's Mark. We call him Hollywood. He was in the bike club that I was in. He fought. He did a lot of MMA, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, blah, blah, blah. We got all tuned up one night. This was no bullshit. This was...
Can you bleep it out if you don't want him knowing, but what's his last name?
No, the reason I didn't say it is because I can't fucking remember. Okay. He's been Hollywood his whole life.
Is it Cherico?
No, but I know Cherico.
Okay.
Yeah, so Cherico worked with me at People's Natural Gas before I was a lender. Yeah, Cherico's good people. But no, that's not his last name. It's missing me. But either way, we got all tuned up one night, and like I said, I rolled for a while, maybe like 2 years, not like crazy, but I rolled. A couple of my buddies fought out of Olympus. I did a lot with the Pennsylvania State Police and local guys. It was called PA Police Combatives.
Dude, that matters.
Yeah, those dudes are gangsters, bro. But yeah, so I rolled with Mark. We had just brought my daughter home, so I was with my ex-wife still. My daughter literally was like 5 days old. No bullshit. And all my boys came over to see the baby and whatever. I finally had my daughter, and we were all bullshitting. My ex-wife put the baby to bed. We were hanging out. We had a couple beers. Mm-hmm. Sparring sessions showed right in the living room, right? So we're fucking around in the living room, had a couple beers in us, and I took his back, almost had the rear naked in, but I didn't set it.
Let's go, dude.
And he rolled on me way harder than this stupid motherfucker should have rolled on me
in a living room
and separated my whole shoulder, bro. No. Like I still have a lump here because I was like, bang! I landed on my shoulder. I'm like, oh, it's broke. It's broke. He's like, no, it's not broke. I'm like, bro. He felt so bad, though.
Damn.
Your boy took me to the hospital. My ex-wife hated me so bad. I had my arm like this. I wrapped it, slinged it in the seatbelt.
Yeah.
Got, they set it all up. I completely snapped my clavicle, though. Bang.
Oh.
Done deal, bro.
Oof.
So, but fuck it. It's part of life. You know what I mean?
Hey, can I cut in there?
Absolutely.
How many kids do you have?
I have, from my marriage, I have 3.
Uh-huh.
My ex-wife has 2. So we have together, my fiance has 2. So together we have 5 kids.
Yeah.
A lot of humans.
Okay. So how did becoming a father change you?
Oh, dude. So
what was the immediate change, and what was like looking back to the father you are now compared to the father that you were back then? What's the biggest difference? So long term, short term.
I need to preface this with, I didn't do it the way that everyone should necessarily do it.
Well, so
my first son,
podcast on that, right?
My son, my oldest son, Xavier, I had him. Well, my ex-wife had him. We were still in high school. Mm-hmm. I was 17 years old when I had my first son. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know shit, bro. I was raising myself and a kid at the same time.
Yeah.
I was out of the house at that time. We were on our own.
Hey, dude. So were the cavemen.
Yeah.
We
fair.
didn't have society in school and like all of this.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
And I wouldn't change it for the world. Let me be very clear that
I would say that you're in the norm.
Yeah.
Historically speaking,
for
you're
sure.
in the norm. You had a kid at 17.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? A lot of people think, I missed these things. I missed that. Nobody gives a fuck about those things. Like getting shit-faced in college and doing like that none of it would have been productive for me, the personality that I have. Mm-hmm. So in my perspective, it was absolutely a blessing because it grounded me immediately, because I realistically probably would have been dead already had I not had that come to my life.
Okay.
But no, so to answer your question,
so immediately
easily,
grounded you?
Immediately.
Okay.
Immediately, because
was it like a, oh shit, here we go? Was it a good anticipation?
It was no. It was terrifying.
Okay.
It was terrifying. It was to the point where I don't have my shit figured out. Mm-hmm. And now I'm responsible for a whole human being. Mm-hmm. And I know how to love. My family was a very loving family, very, very close. Mm-hmm. Didn't have a lot, but family always came first. Mm-hmm. So the love side of it, I was fortunate enough to have my dad in my life. So I wasn't really worried about that side of it as much as the keeping up to my dad's standards, as far as hard as he worked, providing for this family, giving this child the shit that I didn't have. That was the biggest fear. And as well as like,
how do you
can't kill it, keep it alive, like feed it on time. And what I mean? The basics, the human basics of it, like what's wrong. They can't tell you. So you gotta figure this shit out,
How, in your eyes, how do you think your father did as a parent?
Incredible.
Okay. So what an honor that you are trying to emulate.
My father legitimately, so first off, my father's an immigrant. My father was born in Holland. He came over here when he was 2 years old. Yeah. He came over at 2 years old, grew up in Buffalo, New York, and joined the Navy at 18. Got married to my mother at 18, who was born in Puerto Rico, and she lived in the Bronx and then Buffalo. So it's like very West Side Story, like Jets and the Sharks shit, bro. Real. That was my life. My dad has 8 brothers and sisters. My mother has 8 brothers and sisters. So it was wild. But no, my dad did everything right. And I think that's something that was very stressful to me. And I don't think I've even had that kind of conversation with my dad, was that I have to do, he set the bar so high for me. You know what I mean? I never had a question that didn't get answered. Anytime, like, he taught me these things where it's like when I have my sons, my oldest is 14. My other son is 13. So they're 18 months apart, Xavier and Landon. And then my daughter is, she's 9. So having them, like, I have these teaching moments that you come across where, like, I'm working on my buddy's motorcycle or on the bike, and he's like, hey, Dad, how do you do this? And I give him this knowledge. I'm like, you come and do that. Let me show me how you do it. Like, just change the oil to the point where now I don't even have to change my oil. X is like, my son X, he's like, Dad, you need your oil changed? You want to do that? I could do it. And I'm like, bro, you changed it 2 fucking weeks ago. I don't need my oil changed now. But he learned that skill. And I think, that's something that was imprinted by my father, where it was like, if you have a question, I could answer it simply, or I can put you in the fire and let you learn with me. Yeah. And, many, many, many nights talking about that Chevy Lumina that I had, holding the flashlight for this guy, fixing this shit in my car because I was driving like an asshole or whatever else. So shout out to my dad, Patrick Stickle, man. He is everything that I want to be.
Okay.
In a like, for instance, my dad's a very religious man. Very, very religious, very Christian man, and God-fearing. And my first podcast came out, and he was like, "You're doing a lot of cussing, man. There's a lot of cussing on there." And I was like, "That." He's like, that's how people talk in New York. And I said, "Well, we're from New York, so fuck it." And I never cussed around my dad, growing up, or my mother, of course. As I got older, I had that rite of passage, right? I might have leaked the first cuss word, and he was like, okay, you're an adult now. Yeah. So, but my dad, as he's gotten older, has gotten, a little bit more understanding, and he's a great guy. Whose podcast is this, bro? God damn. Go for it.
Hey, the people need to know who you are too.
Run it. Yeah, let's run it back. Go ahead.
So the connection I'm making is I was in my brother's shadow trying to be him, trying to emulate what he did.
For sure.
Right?
And
then now I'm stepping out and I'm being more individualistic.
For sure.
How is Kenaniah stepping out and being more individualistic than
I got you,
Patrick?
So I am, there's affirmations that, you can see on, with social media, you see it all the time where, this woman is talking to her daughter and she's looking in the mirror and she's like, "I'm beautiful." And the little girl's like, "I'm beautiful." That kind of shit where it's like, burn it. And my father, from the day I was born, so I was kind of a miracle, if you will. That sounds so arrogant.
No, but everybody.
So my mother had a couple miscarriages. We were told that
life is a miracle,
right? That they weren't going to be able to carry children anymore. She had a couple miscarriages. My dad actually got a vasectomy. And this is back in the day, but they wanted to try. He actually had it reversed.
Gotcha.
And she had a couple for sure. Yeah. Had a couple miscarriages before me, and then I came. And I'm the only boy in my direct family. So my sisters, I have two older sisters, and then me, and then I have a younger sister, Desiree. So I wasn't supposed to be there. My dad was like, he felt this conviction, going to church. He felt this, I'm supposed to have a son. And lo and behold, here I am, motherfucker.
Let's go.
So, but that was his thing. And so from a very young age, he used to tell me, I'm going to be hard on you. I'm harder on you. But I know that you will be a leader. I know that you will lead people in some capacity. Mm-hmm. So at first, I took that negatively. I took that as pressure that maybe I wasn't ready for.
That is a lot of pressure.
But as I grow and see myself like coming into situations that, and this is legitimately like instinctual, where there's a situation and I have to say something, and it's sometimes comes off as opinionated, but I always also have the ability to try and, before I say something, it wasn't always this way, let me be very clear, but before I would say something to you, I would say it in my head, and then put myself in your position. Like, if somebody said it to me, would this hurt my feelings? Sometimes I don't give a fuck, and I'll tell you whatever I need to fucking tell you. But other times, you have to have that compassion and sympathy in what you say, because words hurt, bro. I've been bullied. Words hurt, for sure. So growing, as I mature and I grow, it happens organically. It happened where I realized that, at a very young age, I was, like you have those shields up there. I was one of the youngest captains in I was one of the I was the first at that fire department. I was the first firefighter 1 certified, like, PA Fire Academy in the history of that fire department.
Oh shit.
I was one of the youngest foremen to ever run a crew for the gas company that I worked, or the contractor for the gas company I worked for. So there's all these things that I don't realize until I sit here and talk to people, so this is definitely therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
But like sometimes, like you said, you're throwing those bricks. Sometimes you need somebody like Tanner to come up to you and be like, "Hey, hold on 1 second. Stop throwing those bricks for 1 second. did you see how many you got down there? And now, like, I do it. And I was literally coming across the bridge this morning, and I was like, I've lived a decent life. You know what I mean? Like, at 32 years old. But I really have been able to do I've been blessed with so many opportunities that sometimes you forget because you're in the race. So it's not like, hold up, stop, turn around. Look how high up you actually are on this mountain. And it's like, oh, fuck. Because all I was worried about was that peak, you know?
This thing has just, like, popped into my brain.
We broke the seal on this shit, bro. we don't even have time to get to all the good shit. Like, this is going in such a good direction.
I love it.
Fucking number one podcast in the world, Craig.
Not the city, the world. But, So very recently, I'm talking like 2 months recently, I've had this thing where I'm like, hey, what would little Tanner think? What would like 8-year-old, 10-year-old, what would high school Tanner think? And I think he'd be proud. Like, you come a long way, man.
Right.
Like, hey, man, you're on a podcast right now. That's cool as shit.
Fucking badass, bro.
You know what I mean? Hey, you host the podcast. Hey, you're doing like, you don't have like an employer per se anymore. You're making money for yourself. You know, these little things, these little like wins, we kind of pass over, and that's like human. That's like our brains.
Like, they're programmed that way. What's next? The score's always 0. And you know, there's so many things like that.
The score is always 0,
which is a good mentality, but it has to be dosed. Like, you have to have doses of that, but you also have to be able to keep connected and grounded to reality. Because there's so many times where there's people that they're so busy chasing their goal. By the time they get to that goal, there's just a fucking burned path behind them. They hurt so many people. They missed out on so many things. And I you know, I've made posts about this, and as I've gotten older, there is nothing, okay, so in the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu world, right? The BJJ world, nothing is more important than balance ever. Right? So when you talk about the Gracies, right? Like Henzo, all them, the letters, Hoist Gracie, it's Hoist, but it's with an R. Do you know why it's an R?
I only thought because it's Portuguese and R's are pronounced as H's.
So Helio's explanation to why is the R of all the letters in the alphabet has the best base. So if you look at a capital R, it has the top heavy of the R, but the legs, everything is evenly based, where a P would topple over, you know, and that's why the H's are so important. So he thought of it on a metaphorical level to the balance. Everything is about the balance, where you know, it's the perfect weapon, because you're water, right? You use their strength against you. So it's, you got to be strong, but you got to be strong in the right atmosphere, the right applications, and then you cinch it.
And we can be talking about
everything:
physical capabilities, mental capabilities, 100%, emotional, spiritual. Like,
it all ties in. It's all balance. You can't have dark without light, bro. You know, that's my favorite. One of my favorite Indian. I think it was originally an Indian story, if you will. I'm not sure the word to use, but
proverb.
Yeah, sure, exactly. Was, you know, the boy, the older grandfather, the elder, came to the boy and he said, inside of you, there's a good wolf. There's a white wolf with love and peace and joy and protection, and then there's also the black wolf that is evil and jealous and greedy, and you know, they're both inside of you. And he goes, you know, grandfather or elder, he says, which wolf will win? And he goes, whichever one you feed.
Oh, wow.
And that is like my shit, bro.
Hey, bro, can you pour me a little bit?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But that was, you know, that's something that those stories and those proverbs, there's so much depth to them.
Whichever one you feed.
On so many levels.
That's sticking with me.
Yeah.
That's sticking with
me.
Good.
Use it. You can use it on your podcast, because everyone knows he heard it here first.
My man.
But so you know, let's jump back real quick, because I wanted to touch on the first time I met you. Cool. For 2 reasons. One is because it was an amazing introduction. And secondly, because it was an awesome situation. what you guys were doing. So I met you. The first time I met you was at the event that you had at Oliver Twist. I got to meet and talk to a gentleman by the name of Brandon Rumbaugh, who is a fucking gangster, bro. He's legit. This war veteran. He told his story, and now correct me if I'm wrong. This was for Homes for Troops. How is it?
Homes for Our Troops.
Homes for Our Troops.
So
give them a little plug.
Homes for Our Troops. They do just such amazing work. Any disabled post 9/11 veterans, they're going to help out. So they've built homes for these disabled veterans across America. Brandon was the recipient of one of these homes. So and the homes are set up for
for their specific
wounded action soldiers.
That's awesome, dude.
Brandon's missing a couple legs.
For sure he is.
Boy,
for sure
I got a great story about this.
Okay.
So yeah, we hosted an event at LifeSpace. We partnered with Homes for Our Troops.
Yeah.
We raised some money for them. It was a cool, real estate networking event as well. Brandon stood up and spoke. He was like the keynote speaker at the event.
Yes.
When he was speaking, one of the guests had actually passed out.
I remember.
That?
Yeah. So, I was right there. I was in between Brandon and the gentleman that had passed out.
Yes. So I was directly across from you.
Okay.
They're standing and watching.
And when he says they fell, your boy fell out, bro. Like, it was bang. You heard the glass break. I thought somebody gotten in a scuffle or like a table fell over. I'm like, oh shit, we're doing this now?
I had no.
Yeah. Your boy went out.
Sack of bricks.
Yeah.
Like,
facts.
Gone.
Yeah.
So, like,
poor guy.
Like Leota Machida when John Jones choked him out.
Oh yeah. Night.
I'm so sorry because he's good now. And he,
for
like,
sure.
He
for
like
sure. We wouldn't be making a joke if there was something severely that happened.
Yeah. So I walk over to Brandon about 5 minutes into this thing. So we had called the ambulance.
Yes.
I walked over to Brandon between that time, and I was like, hey, you kind of want to like draw the attention back to you.
Yes.
Get this thing.
Yeah, because he kept it rolling.
Yeah, he did. So he's like, I'm gonna like say a little joke.
Yeah. Do it.
So he told me what the joke was beforehand. He was like, I hope I don't butcher this, but he goes, the last time I went running over when somebody fell down, I lost a leg.
Oh shit!
So, which
only a guy like him can say for sure.
Would take like if you're at the Comedy Store, and that would take the room down in stitches, right? So he laced this joke on the group and gets crickets.
No shit.
Oh, I felt so bad.
I liked it
so bad.
I was the guy. I was one of the guys laughing.
But yeah, he was a gangster. He is a gangster.
Oh, 100%.
Does great work
100%.
for veterans and all that. But yeah,
he's a good dude.
Appreciate you coming to that event too. Because that means a lot. Like you buying a ticket, coming and paying for drinks, like all of that money, man. It went to a good cause. So thank you.
Yeah. And I told you before, my brother. So I call him my brother, Brad Tillman. He had met my sister when we first moved up there from Virginia. When my father got out of the Navy, my sister Melissa met Brad Tillman. They grew up. They went to high school together. She only had like 2 years left by the time she came up here. But they got married. He went straight to the military. He was in the Army, 3rd Infantry Old Guard, and he had since passed away. But the military, I grew up in that atmosphere. And then with my brother, going down to DC to see him and meeting all of his buddies and stuff like that. It holds a very, very near and dear place to my heart. So like and I told you that night we might have drank a little bit too much, but it was so cool to see Salud. It was so cool to see an event like that. Especially like I said, with Brandon there, with these guys that actually are, they did the work. They put the work in, and they're getting what they deserve. Finally, not enough, but still, it's something. And that's why I have a couple VA deals right now, and I hold them at such a high standard to provide the service level for them because You know, these dudes that have these disabilities, these issues
that went in
when nobody else would. You know what I mean?
Uninjured, right?
And they knew the risk. They knew, and that's what a lot of people are like, well, they knew the risk. Yeah, but they still did it. You know, love. What is it? I can't remember the quote. I'm gonna fuck it up. But somebody that will lay their life down for their brother is so powerful to me. And that's a different level. You want to talk about, you know, your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, those guys, when I talk to these vets, these guys, you know, a good friend of mine said, you know, he's done 4 tours over there. He's been blown up. Shout out to Sid. There's an atmosphere that these gentlemen bring, and women, to a room where, and it's not on, it's not on some bitch shit. It's on some real, like, if I go out with them, I feel safe as a grown man.
They bring a stoicism,
right? Like, it's like, we're good. Like,
when they're so when I coach, those guys who was, you know, the military guys sitting there, they're attentive. They're the ones that are taking in the information and comprehending it.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are present. They're the ones that I want to coach.
Yeah, for sure. So before we run out of time, because like I said, dude, we could literally do this all day. I could literally spend the rest of my day bullshit. Fuck the cameras. Like, let me just fucking dig into each other's minds and fucking hit that multiverse, if you will.
What you doing after this? I'm sure we're gonna go get lunch.
Yeah, we need to go grab something to eat, especially this alcohol. But so to touch on, and like we said before, you know, shout out to Homes for Our Troops. The movement that they're making, you know, is just incredible.
Changing people's lives whose lives had been changed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For a cause, for us. You know, a lot of people lose sight of that, you know, with this world, and fuck, this world is just crazy. But
some parts of it, yeah.
Yeah. But these men and women, they answer the call. You know, they put themselves in these situations, whether it's for this specific president or this leader or this whatever. Before all else, it's for the man and woman next to them. Yeah. It's for their squad.
That's so special.
You know what I mean? And I get that camaraderie in you know, on the mat too.
Yeah.
You know, you definitely have that where
it's that shared suffering.
Right. Yeah. That's it, dude. Mm-hmm. That's it. The shared suffering where we went through some shit together that nobody else knows unless they were with us.
Exactly.
And you cannot put a price. There's nothing that will get, you had to be there, right?
You have to be there.
You had to be
have
there.
to go through that. You can't buy that. You can't go and get that.
No. And you can be as sympathetic and, you know, as on level as you want, but if you can't, it's priceless.
Absolutely.
It's priceless.
Because you're exactly right. Like, I would say, I don't know, not a prime example, but like Ariel Helwani, right? Mm-hmm. He is an MMA media guy.
Right.
Probably has never rolled or done any sort of MMA, striking, jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, any type of that in his life. I could be completely wrong.
Right.
But presumably he hasn't. He knows.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But he doesn't know. He knows enough to like not fuck with you, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't know what it feels like.
Right.
You know?
There's
he's
and that's a big difference.
There's like smart and then there's like wisdom.
For sure.
Right? And experience brings wisdom.
So we had something in multiple different atmospheres of my life. We've had those situations. So like for the fire department aspect, right? There was a difference between what the book says that you should do in this specific situation and your training says versus what the fuck actually happened in that situation. Mm-hmm. So when I go in, the epitome of that is Mike Tyson's quote, everybody has a game plan until you get punched in the mouth. Bam. And that is that's what that is. So I can tell you all about it, the techniques, the leverage, the weight, the disbursement, this, and this. But until I actually go through that and I stop breathing for a fucking second, It's different, bro.
It's so different.
It's different.
So it's the same. Like I kind of relate that to. I don't know what these guys experienced, but like when they went and captured Bin Laden, right?
Yeah.
They didn't expect that one whole ass helicopter was gonna crash.
Yeah.
Right?
Facts.
So it's like,
right.
Yeah. Boom. There's your
You're
Mike
punching
Tyson
your face.
uppercut. Yeah.
Oh shit. Now what? And that's when the reflex takes over, and that's why training is so important. And so let me ask you a quick question. And like I said, I want to touch before we end. I want to touch on, I think we've already hit the why I use the word free for you. But I want to touch on a couple other things. But before we do that, jiu-jitsu, right? So let's say somebody is. Because it's very intimidating, right? I remember the first couple of times I went to a couple free rolls. It was fucking terrifying, right? So I wrestled a little bit in high school, nothing great, whatever else. But I see these guys, and, my first introduction was to a gentleman named Scalzo. He was a cop at Jeanette. I think he's a cop in Greensburg now. He was always a K-9 cop. Little guy, right?
Yes.
Like... Anybody, if you didn't know, you'd be like, "Fuck this little bitch!" Like the cops would give him shit because he was so little. They'd say that's why they gave him the dog. Like they gave him the dog because he's a canine cop. That's why they gave him the dog. This motherfucker will break your arm the fuck off, bro, and beat the brakes off of you with it. Like great guy.
We got one right now, and I'm not gonna say his name.
Okay, fair.
If you run into he's 5'9".
Right.
If he's wearing clothes, you think he's a skinny dude. He is a black belt that will end every plan that you have.
I love it.
He will.
I love it. That's my shit, bro.
It doesn't matter if you are Thor Bjornsson, the mountain.
Yeah, the mountain.
Yeah. He will just
ball your ass up.
Your day up, right? So
nice.
Don't, like you guys think that you're tough and like want to act tough to the cops.
Bro, some of them guys, dude.
Cops getting a lot of shit right now.
Yeah.
So a lot of cops are training right now.
Yes.
Mind your P's and Q's, people.
Facts. Fucking facts, bro. Like, my thing is, like, when you get choked out, right, when you get a good rear naked, like, someone sets it in, bro. Like, we're talking air and blood choke. Ooh. Gang time. Ooh. Bang. The panic that you have, if you've never been in that situation multiple times, I'm saying up to 50 times, you lose your shit.
So right there, what you did describes it all.
Yeah.
So it'll take somewhere between 3 and 5 seconds to incapacitate you.
Right.
You will tap due to being like the panic.
Yeah, the panic. It's instant.
Before 3 seconds.
100%.
You will not like this and say,
instant.
I quit before, and that's 3 seconds.
Yes.
Right?
100%. I've been there.
Right.
So that was one of the first things, right? So shout out to Gino, Big Gino. Gino trained with Henzo. Gino was a fucking gangster. Gino was also he is, I'd say 6'3", 6'4".
Big boy.
Probably pushing 350. If you saw this motherfucker, bro, you'd be like, this sloppy mother. He'll kick your head off of your fucking shoulders, bro. It physically, it's like a bumblebee, right? Like bumblebees, given their mass and density, their little fucking wings shouldn't be able to fly, but yet they do it. Gino is the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu bumblebee of my life. I've seen this man do some crazy shit. And so the first thing we talked about, I choked him. He let me, like, he laid there, fucking, go ahead. It was like, the lion letting his cubs fuck with him. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And I worked my ass off, and he's just, hey. So I finally get him, right? I snuck his ass. He wasn't paying attention. Hooks in. The fact that he was able to maintain as long as he was enough for me to fucking release. Like, I'm like, set it. I'm holding. And he's just like, calm, doing his shit. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm about to die. And he fucking flipped my ass around. So, like I said, there is you don't know. So people out there that are thinking that the cops are bitches because he's a big, giant, sloppy-looking cop with a big old beer belly, that motherfucker will knock your fucking hairline back. I promise you.
Walk 1,000 miles in his shoes and then.
Right.
And then
right. And he's one of those cops that's like, his big thing is, like, I fucking hate bad guys. I hate bad guys. Right? So he'll fuck your ass out. He'll throw you in the back of his pickup truck.
Hate
you know
bad
what I mean?
guys, like,
yes.
That's the thing, right?
But no, so to go to that, he had brought me into, this world. And one of the first things he did was like, lay down, like getting choked out. So a wind choke, and you can attest to this, is instant. It's terrifying when you can't fucking breathe. Mm-hmm. But a blood choke is fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. So he had laid me down. He's like, I'm going to show you what a blood choke feels like because there's a difference. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And, he pretty much got up in there and he cut these two off. Yeah. And I was laying there and I was like, it was relaxing. I felt my toes get cold, the blood. And then he brought me back and I'm like, oh shit. He's like, right. So if you said it right, yep. They don't even know how bad it is. No. The wind choke it creates the panic. It's like, oh, it does. But that blood choke, bro.
Experienced people, like, so I've been doing it 8 years, right? I'm not tapping to.
I mean, you got the ears to show it, babe.
Yeah, I'm not tapping to a wind choke because I know I can actually breathe. It's just like really uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's gangster as fuck, bro. Yeah, did you just hold on? Did you just say I'm not tapping to a wind choke? 100%, yeah. I'm not. You heard it, folks. No, I'm not tapping that. Fuck that shit, bro.
You have to like incapacitate me. But
do you understand? Oh my god, bro.
Right. So it sounds like barbaric and stuff like this, right? But like, this is like, so I want to leave my mark on jiu-jitsu as a coach and as someone who like brings rise to women's jiu-jitsu.
Okay. Right? I like that.
Far too often you said earlier in the podcast, there's shitty shit that happens in this world.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Let me give you an example. Not to get too graphic, but like, think about it. Everybody can think about it. What's a typical rape position?
From the back.
Close guard.
Okay. Yeah. Pin them up.
Right?
Yeah.
So, if I understand close guard and I understand how to do guillotines and kimuras and sweeps or how to make space and get out of there, right? Yes. That situation right there, it doesn't matter if it's a male or female.
Facts.
95 pounds or 395 pounds. If you know what you're doing in that situation,
100%.
You're going to get out of it. And I'll be damned. I don't have children, but I'll be damned if my daughter's ever in that situation and doesn't know how to get out.
Facts. I mean? No, 100%. My daughter will fuck you up, bro. Like she's 9 years old and she will fuck. Like she's more bold than my but she's she's got two older brothers. My nephews, were primarily boys. So the girls in my family are sacred, and it's been that it's just built that way. My sons will get mad because she's my favorite. I don't give a fuck. She's my favorite. She's my baby. She's my daughter.
Bro, park it just for a second. Know. I'm so glad you said that.
Oh, yeah. There's favorites.
Parents, come on.
There's favorites. Come on.
Like, I know I'm not the favorite in my family, but my parents will never mention that.
No, they'll never. Oh, no, we love you all the same. Fuck that. Fuck all that.
25%.
Yep.
Get the
my sister, out. So my baby sister is the favorite, Desiree. Like, we call her GB, the golden booger. Like, whatever daddy said, whatever she says, daddy does. And it's the same way with my daughter, bro.
The golden boy.
Yeah, 100%. It's no questions asked. Every parent has favorites. And I'll be shit, I've been drinking too much to lie. Like, that is a fucking fact. And my boys know it. Like, it doesn't mean I don't love my sons. You know what I mean? But I hold them to a different standard because they're going to have daughters. Or they're going to have a girlfriend or fiance or a wife where they need to implement that same thing. Not to say that relationships aren't equal, not to say that women are less, I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying my daughter, I'll kill everybody in this whole building over my daughter. You know what I mean? Period. It's different. Not that I wouldn't for my sons, but it's just different. It's just different.
Yeah.
My baby girl is, shoo.
Bro, listen, I think I'm the only dude in America that thinks this, but like I so genuinely, wholeheartedly want a little jiu-jitsu princess.
Bro. That's legit.
I do.
The only thing that lines up with a Brazilian or a BJJ princess is an Israeli Krav Maga princess. Bro, Krav Maga, when I was introduced to Krav Maga, it was a women's organization that came to do this little seminar. Bad motherfuckers, bro. Krav Maga is the most violent thing that I've seen in a long time. Like the self-defense aspect of it.
Certain aspects, yes.
Right.
Okay. So am I gonna like if 5 attackers are on one person?
Right.
Your Krav Maga don't mean shit, right?
No,
in
for sure.
one, right? Like in Jiu Jitsu, we're not teaching like, hey, this is how you rip out the balls.
Right.
Krav Maga,
break their windpipe, snap their balls off.
Exactly. In a life or death situation, that's where I think like
for sure
the rules when there are no rules.
Yes.
That Krav Maga shit
for
that
sure
brings in. Yeah, for sure.
And I think that was the premise of what it was built on.
Yeah.
You know, it was life or death immediately. Where there's still technique, there's still theory behind it, but Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is definitely a little bit more calculated to defense as far as incapacitation.
So
if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. It definitely favors the smaller person.
Correct.
In the little scuffle.
Which Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, if I'm not mistaken, was the same way. Like Helio was a weaker, slow. Like that wasn't Jiu-Jitsu. It was his spin on it.
At Subway making your sauce.
Right. But
you should be afraid of.
Bro. And that was my favorite thing was that. So when I trained, stand up at Olympus with. So shout out to my boy Justin Campbell. He had I was his guy. He had his amateur fight at it was Yankee Lake Brawl Room. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. That was my era, right?
Bro, I grew up in the sticks of Oil City, Pennsylvania, and our old hillbilly said we're going to Yankee Lake.
Yankee Lake was
some people up.
Right. That's what it was. So, and my man Justin he's probably his nickname's Cupcake. Okay. He's probably 6'4".
I love that.
Around 6'4". Maybe 250, whatever. He's a big motherfucker. Yeah, big Irish fucking or Icelandish. He's a Viking. Oh, he's a fucking Viking, bro, is what he is. So his walkout music, since I want to touch on that, his walkout music, like, dude, he fought, if I remember this correctly, came out to some fucking, like, Eminem, 50 Cent, fucking banger shit, fuck the world, blah, blah, blah. And, like, Yankee Lake's small, right? So you met the guy you're fighting at the table type of shit.
Sure.
So we already knew we already scouted him out on, at this point, I believe it was MySpace. Like, we'll ball this motherfucker up. So we're getting ready, and my boy was, he picked his walkout song. We drove his Audi to Yankee Lake. Like, it wasn't like we were on a bus. And no, fuck that. Right. We drove to the fight and drove back.
That's right.
And his walkout shit was fucking like this tribal Viking like instrumental. Like it wasn't like God of War shit, bro. It wasn't like fucking 50 Cent. It wasn't Drake or fucking, ICP. It was like this fucking tribal. He beat the brakes off of this motherfucker. Hey, Cupcake, we walked the W home, son. Like it was fucking violent. I was in the stands. Yeah, like fucking drums, like the flute in the background.
Dude, nothing pumps me up more than I think it's called the haka. The Hawaii guys.
Bro, the haka. I'm not bullshitting you. I have watched almost every haka ever on YouTube. There is something so fucking great. Like bro, that touches into a different world, bro.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite ones you'll have to watch, I'll find the link, is a haka at a wedding. Did you see it?
Yes.
Where they call the groom out, and then he fucking comes back, as it's like, bro, I'll die for this bitch, bro. And then he's in the family, and I'm like, bro, I cry. I'm not bullshitting you, grown man shit. Yeah. I was like, oh, because it hits you. Touches a different level of your soul, bro. The haka is a whole different fucking vibe. If you came, so let me ask you that, because that was what my original question was. So what have you walked? So I know you do a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So have you been in the cage at all, or is it all mat work?
Dude, I'm gonna tell you something that not a lot of tough guys will admit. I don't want to get punched in the face.
Yeah, that's
I don't want to get
facts.
kicked in the face.
Yeah.
I don't want to get kneed in the face. I don't want to get elbowed in the face, man.
You got a pretty face, you know?
I
That's
appreciate
facts.
you.
You still got to sell houses, bro.
Oh, man, you can get it later. but like, no, I mean, that's a real fear of me.
Yes.
And I'm like individualistic enough, and I don't give a shit about what you think about me being fearful that I'm going to get struck in the face, so that's why I don't do MMA.
Fair.
Right?
There's
right?
There's nothing wrong.
Come at
I
me,
hate
bro.
getting punched in the
I will
face.
strangle the shit out of you, you know?
Yes.
I will take you to my deep waters. I am a
Right.
shark, and you are a pigeon.
Right.
right?
So listen, my buddy has a story. He had 2 German Shepherds.
Mm-hmm.
Gangster dogs. Well-trained fucking
Love that.
gangster dogs. They chased this fucking raccoon. They were at camp. They chased this raccoon into the river.
Yeah.
On land, this raccoon doesn't have a prayer.
Right.
This motherfucking raccoon jumped in the water. They chased him. He tried to call him off. It's already game time.
Right.
These fucking dogs chased this raccoon. Raccoon swimming. Now, motherfuckers got hands like us. Raccoons got hands like us.
Right.
Fucking raccoon swimming. The dogs are catching him, gaining on him in the water. This fucking raccoon turns around, grabs this motherfucking dog by the head, and drowns both fucking German Shepherds.
What?
Dead. Drowns them dead. Flipped around on his back, still kicking. Grabs them by their snout and holds them underwater until they die.
Raccoons are
There is no better analogy for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu than that, in my opinion. There's no way that physically made sense. This motherfucker drowned 2 German Shepherds, bro. Do you hear what I'm saying, Tanner? He drowned 2 motherfucking German Shepherds.
So nobody believes that,
A
right?
fat raccoon.
I absolutely believe that.
It's a fact. I'm not making that shit up.
Right,
You think I
right,
just
right.
made that up off the top of my head? That's a great story, but
this
no.
one time?
Yeah, guess what? I just made this up. No, it was a fucking
I love
fact.
that. It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. It really is.
You never know.
The same thing, like, and hey, that's why, like, I really want to build women's jiu-jitsu, and I don't care if you compete or not.
What
I
about
want you to
agents?
train.
Have you ever thought about taking this to like our industry as far as like these girls are taking showings, you know, at 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
What if you put on something where you can bring these agents? So like, you know, Ben Snowden from Real Producers, he'll do like firearms training for these female agents.
Yeah.
Show these motherfuckers how to break a neck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Let them use it on their husbands, you know?
I'm going to bring a real controversial opinion to this.
Do it. Fuck it. That's it's keeping it real.
That's so dangerous. It's not even funny, and I'm sorry.
What is that? What is dangerous? Firearm training or jiu-jitsu to real estate agents?
If I'm going to hold one seminar, I'm giving you false belief that you actually know what you're doing, and you have no fucking idea what you're doing if you only do it one time.
That's absolutely
You're bringing
fair.
a false sense of security to
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
I want you in my class. I want to be your instructor in a one-on-one private scenario. I want to help grow your knowledge.
That's fair.
If you're coming to a seminar once out of maybe your entire life, this is your first introduction to it. You know,
like that's what they told us at the gym. You'll learn just enough to get yourself fucked up. That was Gino's thing. If you come here because you want to fight somebody, like our rules were very, very clear. If I find out that you're fucking implementing any of this shit and your life wasn't in danger, we're gonna fuck you up, and then you're done. And we're cops, so what the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Who you gonna call?
Right.
So don't fucking do, because there's a lot of people that will learn this shit to fuck people up in a wrong fashion, because you know some shit, bro. You're dangerous at that point.
I think at least in the jiu-jitsu room, I think a lot of those guys get weeded out.
They do.
And it's nice. It's nice to come across those guys too. Those tryhards.
The tap out shirts, bro. Come on, tap out.
Man.
I had tap out shirts.
Hey, I'll tell you the most humbled I've ever been as a human being is when I was a blue belt and I got slaughtered by a purple belt. She had me tap into an armbar in 30 seconds.
So for the people that don't know, how far away are those belts, or how would they categorize it for the people that don't understand that?
Love it. So let's go in order of descending brightness. Okay?
There you go.
White, blue, purple, brown, black. Takes about 10 years to get your black belt. You're not eligible for your blue belt until you're 16 years old.
Okay.
Okay. If I have a choice, it's martial arts over no martial arts. Okay? So now that we're within martial arts, we don't have 12-year-old black belts.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's legit.
For sure.
So when you're in the training room to start a roll, and a roll is just doing jiu-jitsu, you slap, bump, and then you start your roll.
For sure.
Slap, bump.
Game time.
Started the roll. She starts off on her back, as we mentioned previously.
So dangerous.
Right?
Oh, that's a number. Yes, you're right.
But I think
I'm terrified. When
she started off on her back, now I got the advantage.
Yep.
Right? That's
wrong. No competition.
She goes 2-on-1, cranks my arm, throws her leg over my face, and I'm like, tap, 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 tap. 30 seconds later, I outweigh her double.
Yes.
She's probably 120. I'm 240 at the time. Like,
handed you your ass.
Handed me my ass.
Yeah.
So me being machismo,
right?
Masculine. Oh, she just caught that.
Right. Luck,
bro. Slap, bump. I'm being more careful. Triangle. Holds me purposefully.
Let you think about it. Let you think about it for a second.
She holds me in the triangle for the rest of the time. 4 more minutes until the match ends. Holds me in a triangle.
No shit.
Like tightens it up, and I'm like about to tap, and then loosens it up. Like she just
Python shit, just playing with you.
She taught me one of my biggest life lessons, and it's just like, don't underestimate anybody.
Anybody.
You just got your ass handed to you.
Yeah.
Handed to you, and it doesn't matter. He, she, lightweight, heavyweight.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Man.
Anybody can get it.
Doesn't.
Anybody can get it.
Anybody can.
That was a big thing. One thing that you mentioned was, how she went to her back. Mm-hmm. Those are some of the scariest motherfuckers that I played with, right? So we would tap, same thing, tap, bump. We would roll. Most of the time, to keep, injuries down, we'd start on our knees. And the motherfuckers that would go straight to their ass and put their feet out and just sit there like this, dangerous. Fucking dangerous. Like, go ahead, do whatever you got. Or they'll just lay down. Go ahead, start. And then they'll give you something. And that's the chess of it, where they'll give you something. They'll give you that arm. And you're like, oh, fuck. Americana, I got it. I see it. It's in my head. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, fuck. Whoop. Done deal.
I play
and that's no gi. So gi versus no gi. So for those that don't know, when you have a gi on, that's like the karate outfit for those that don't understand.
The kimono,
yeah. And then no gi is just like, shorts, T-shirt, Under Armour, whatever, compression.
Surfer gear.
Right, for sure.
Rash guard and like
so no gi, I felt okay. Gi, you'll die. You'll die. You have no idea how dangerous what you wear can be used against you. You have no idea. Bro. None.
Wintertime. Like Winterfell's
coming. Everybody that wears a Carhartt dies instantly, bro.
It's like I see grips everywhere. Like, oh my god, do you know this cross collar junk that I'm about to hit on you, bro?
It's gross. It's gross.
It's so funny. So like, and it's always on my brain too, which is kind of like, it's good and bad, right? Like,
it has to be.
It fills up mental space that I could use elsewhere, but at the same time, like, I walk around safe.
Yes,
right?
you have to.
I don't go somewhere that's stupid for me to go to, right? So you kind of mentioned earlier, it's like, I forget the saying, but I want to be, or I forget who said it, Matsuyama, blah, blah, blah. I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Like, and then to take it a step further, like, I'm not going to go into war zones.
Right.
Right.
Right, because... Why? Right.
But it's always up here.
I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Like I get it. 100% accurate. Everything that you're saying. So go back to the, I'd rather be, because that's a very, very big quote. Yeah. I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Absolutely.
You know, that's like
man.
the better. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Like with anything in life, right?
Facts. 100%.
At least
that
things,
application can be literally applied to anything.
Now, I'm not talking about a McLaren.
Yeah.
Right. I'm talking about like morals and values.
For sure.
Right?
As a person, balance of life. Balance of life, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's deep.
It's deep stuff.
It's so deep. Dude, listen, this has been, I shouldn't say this because I'm going to hurt people's feelings, but this has been probably the best podcast so far.
My man.
Everybody else that was before him, you have a chance to come back on the show. Don't take it any type of way. But, you know, so for instance, I had notes that I wanted to hit. I had certain things that I wanted to touch on with you.
You want to go fire round?
So we can.
Let's go.
We can.
Let's
All right.
go surface
so
level.
Let's do it. So the biggest thing that like I said, to touch on the free, right? Why do I feel like your persona comes off to me as free? You know, you travel a lot, you see things, you know, it's very organic, it's very spur of the moment. If it feels good for you, you're going to do it. And you know, in a controlled atmosphere. It really is, you know, there's people, and then like I said, the biggest point of this is to get our viewers to know you and to get a vibe of what this podcast is about. And I feel like you embrace that there's so many people out here that are afraid to go out of their comfort zone. Like, listen, bro, I started mortgages. And this is how this started. I started selling mortgages. I started trying to make a difference to people that, you know, otherwise couldn't afford to buy a home or to get into a place that they deserve. You know, because I grew up not having a lot, but being grateful for what we had. And I think that goes to my parents as far as I didn't know how fucking hard it was. My dad never let us know how bad we had it until you go to that fucking, you know, that rich white friend's house and you're like, why don't we have this game system? Or why don't we
swan fountain?
Right. So there was, you know, but we never went without. And I want to make that very clear that we never went without. If we didn't, you know, if we needed something, we would sacrifice. My dad would sacrifice. My mother would sacrifice, God rest her soul, to whatever we needed as kids. And you know, just to circle back is like, there's so many people that are so focused on what to obtain. You know, a quote that I heard was, you know, people spend their whole life spending money they don't have to impress people that they don't know. And this podcast, this environment, this vibe is, you know, it is circled around real estate. It's been brought to real estate, but it's to bring attention to the decent motherfuckers that you genuinely give a fuck about the person that you're trying to find a home for or that you're selling. Absolutely. You know what I mean? But there isn't a lot of, not that there isn't a lot, but there's a lot of other people that it's a commission. It's vision commission. That's it. I need to make this much money. I'm the best. Check out my cars, check out my purse, check out my bag, blah, blah, blah. Sure. But in this industry, and specifically in Pittsburgh, there is very good fucking people that will protect you, will protect your investment, that will make sure that you get the very best scenario for your life, so that it might not make sense to you right now, but in 5 years you're like, damn, he really set me up.
So I think I can do a good job of that, because we're going to go back to your balance talk. Yeah. Me being free is a product of like balance in my life, right?
For sure.
Me going on trips fulfills my like internal heart space. Yeah. So I can have external relationships, right? So like I got to feed the internal so I can be good on the external.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Right? If I'm filling up my heart space and like I'm running on all cylinders and shit, man, then I'm genuinely interested. Hey, Ken,
exactly. Because you're not selling at that point. You're just involved.
I genuinely give a shit.
Right.
Right? Like,
which is so good, dude.
It is.
It's so good.
And you know, that's kind of overused too.
It is.
Right?
It's the same as the word love.
Yeah.
The word love is so outplayed that a lot of people don't know how deep that word really is. And it's the same thing where, you know, they say, you know, be weary of an honest soul, be weary of an earnest soul. Okay. Because there's so many people that will tell you this. They'll tell you, I care about you. I want you to get the best. I've been able to help this many families and blah, blah, blah. Some of them are true and some of them are fucking horseshit. So, not to cut you off, but
I love this.
It's the genuineness. And there's, you can make a post, and Sally down the street at this real estate agency can make a post, and your words can be identical. But this platform that we've built, this podcast, your podcast, is going to show people the truth behind that. And that's the vibe. Yeah. When you have, doing the deed and you're talking to these people, they're going to be able to pick apart if you're just trying to sell me, or if you actually give a fuck about my children and what color I want to paint their rooms and, all that shit.
Exactly. Like, look, I want to be real honest with you. There's a 14-page, agreement of sale contract, right?
Yeah.
I'm dangerous in there. Do I know every single word? Probably not.
No.
But do I know what you want? Yes. Why? Because I took the time to be genuinely interested in your wants, in your needs, what makes you tick, what doesn't make you tick.
Yes.
Right? I want to know what makes you happy and what makes you sad, what you lean on when you're in times of stress, what brings you out of that stressful situation. Is showing you a house is it a cool thing for you to do? You're excited, or is it I kind of gotta so it helps me connect on another level.
The psychology of the sale.
There's so much psychology into it, and you can get really deep and really detailed into it, but to be complete, anybody can get this. Just have a genuine interest in what the fuck people go through.
Right. Chase the relationship, not the commission.
What's your story? How did you end up right here in this situation?
Yes.
To buy a house?
It's fucking gold.
Let's go.
It's fucking gold, I'm telling you.
I do not give two flying fucks that you want granite countertops and a stainless steel fridge that has a screen on it that can tell.
Right.
You know what? How'd you get here?
Right.
Why do you want that? What led
Tell me.
you? What did you see? What are your interests? What influences have there been on you to lead you to where you are today?
Yes.
How did hey family with a newborn, how'd you get here?
Yes.
How'd you come together?
You
know what I mean?
Tell me your story.
And I love
that's the best part of this job. It's the best part of this job.
Right.
Is because everybody has a different financial fingerprint, but everybody has a different story.
Yes.
And when you can tailor, think of a tailor, right? I'm measuring to your size. I'm making it fit you.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you agents are doing. That's exactly what a good lender will do. Where it's hey, this is what we're pushing, but after talking to you, I think this program would make more sense. And let me explain to you why.
Right.
And when you do that, who's touching me, bro? Who's touching me? Because I give a shit. Because if you treat my thing is what if I was selling this mortgage or this house, for your instance, to your sister or to your cousin or to your mother?
Love that.
Why the fuck would I? Well, this is the program. This is going to make me the most commission. So you definitely want this house. Fuck, did you even listen to her? Did you listen to what she said? That potentially her mother is going to end up in this house and there's not a bedroom on the first floor that's going to help her be able to get around. All these things that you can be, can push to be the best agent or the best lender. There's a lot of people that will oversee that.
I want your audience to rewind what you just said.
Yeah.
That spans, this isn't the first time I've heard that, and it is such a strong point in perspective. Would I sell this to my mother? Would I manufacture this for my mother? Now, let's assume you've got a good relationship with your mom.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah.
But would I sell this to a loved one? Would I recommend this to a loved one? Right? Do it honestly.
That's it.
Right.
You know how many deals that I've won or how many clients that I've gained by just not even the best pricing or the best incentive program or the best, fill in the blank, but by being a decent fucking person. Where it's listen, you can't get that low or this doesn't line up exactly, But I've talked to you for 4 hours, and you asked about my grandmother, and you this, and you gave me incentives on, what this you bought for your family to whatever. I want to work with you.
Then it's just ones and zeros on a piece of paper.
Right.
And you have this relationship.
Commission breath. That's what they call it. There's so many people that have commission breath where it's like, no.
It's so obvious.
Yeah.
So
fuck
obvious.
you. Fuck all of them. Anybody that does that shit, fuck you. Me and Tanner are coming. We're going to find you. Hey, I'm telling you, it's bad news for you. We're changing the industry in Pittsburgh, and we're bringing it all back home. And if you got a problem with it, come see us. I'm not going to show the address.
If you're doing it for $1, we're going to come and holler.
Yeah, facts. I'm going to send you a bag of dog shit. So, but no, man, listen, Tanner, I thank you. I thank you for coming on the show, man. This has been one of the most enjoyable episodes this far. I knew it would be.
The pleasure is
mine,
sir.
I knew the chemistry would fucking explode to the point for my man Ange. He's had to pee 3 times. He's over this shit.
Bro, I gotta pee
shout
3
out
times.
to 6 Eye Productions for everything that they're doing for this podcast, for this environment. Thank you again, man, for coming on.
The pleasure's mine, man. Like you're creating a platform and you're building a community for us agents and for the community at large.
I thank you.
And that is just so powerful, and
Thank
it's
you.
Super important. So thank you for what you're doing, man.
I appreciate that. And as of course, I could not have made this possible without Lending Heights, without, our fearless leaders, Jason Checo and Kristen Checo, the amazing duo who is
I hold
literally
my mortgage with. Thank
right.
you, Jason.
Hey, if this motherfucker trusts us, we're doing something right, right?
That's right.
So thanks, man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you to Lifespace. I cannot wait. There's so many things that I still want to keep going on, but I know we can't keep going at this point. So episode 2 is coming. We're going to bring you back on the show.
I love this.
And then and hopefully, my followers can follow over to, like I said, Doing the Deed podcast.
Yep.
Hopefully I can get on there and we can really pick up where we left off on this one.
100%.
See how things have changed over the last couple of weeks with us and just run wild in Pittsburgh.
I'm going to do one more thing before
it.
I get off.
Do it. Fuck it. It's my show.
Listen,
You're allowed.
I appreciate you, and you've created this space for me to do it. I'm going to announce something that's like near and dear to my heart.
Absolutely.
I haven't even announced it on my podcast. I've put a little social media teaser out there, but June 11th.
Look, put your eyes in the camera.
Let's go. Hey,
Tell them what it is.
June 11th, High Rollers Jiu Jitsu promotion. It's in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm fighting for the Brown Belt Championship.
Oh, shit.
Let's go.
Oh, shit.
Let's go. It'll be televised on fight.tv.
There you go. That's what I was going to say.
June
How
11th.
can we watch it if we can't get out to Vegas?
Yep.
Say that again. We'll have Ange put it up on the thing. What is it? Fight?
Yeah, fight.tv. June 11th. It'll probably be somewhere like Aaron at, 7 o'clock on the East Coast or something like that.
Okay, fair.
But, yeah, you can watch
We'll
me
be
go to
on
work.
it. Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Hey, thank you guys again tuning in to this episode of Keeping It Real Estate Podcast. My name is Ken and I Stickle. I'm a licensed loan officer with Lending Heights Mortgage. We're down here in Oakmont. Any questions, concerns, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you guys get into to your new home, sell your new home. I can get you tied up with Tanner. You want to go see a house tomorrow with Tanner? Let me know. We'll set it up. No bullshit. Be safe, guys. Love.
Love.